In the annals of history, certain figures emerge not merely as rulers, but as forces of nature. They are the architects of empires, the shapers of destiny, the very embodiment of power. In the heart of West Africa, in the sun-scorched plains of what is now Nigeria, such a figure arose. A woman whose name would echo through centuries, a name synonymous with leadership, a name that became a legend. This is the story of Queen Amina, the warrior queen of Zazzau. Her saga is not just a tale of conquest. It is a testament to unyielding courage, a masterclass in strategic vision, and a legacy forged in fire and ambition. Born around 1533 in the kingdom of Zazzau, one of the 7 original Hausa states, Amina was destined for greatness. Her mother, Bakwa Turunku, was the ruling queen, a formidable leader who had already established a new capital at Zaria, named after Amina's younger sister. From her earliest days, Amina was immersed in the world of governance and warfare. She did not observe from the gilded confines of a palace. She learned from the heart of the action. Her grandfather, the Sarkin Nupe, recognized the fire within her, a spirit that could not be contained by tradition. He took her under his wing, training her in the arts of statecraft, diplomacy, and, most crucially, the art of war. While other girls learned domestic skills, Amina learned to wield a sword, to command a cavalry, to read the battlefield as a scholar reads a scroll. She mastered the intricate dance of power, understanding that leadership was not a birthright to be passively accepted, but a mantle to be actively earned and fiercely defended. The kingdom of Zazzau was a hub of commerce, a vital link in the trans-Saharan trade routes. Its wealth, derived from salt, metals, and textiles, made it a target. To survive, to thrive, a leader needed more than just a crown. They needed a warrior's heart. Amina possessed this in abundance. By the age of 16, she was a renowned warrior, leading her own contingent of troops. Her presence on the battlefield was electrifying. She was not a queen who sent men to die. She was a commander who led them to victory. Her courage was infectious, a spark that ignited the hearts of her soldiers. They saw her fearlessness, her tactical brilliance, her unwavering resolve, and they followed her without question. Her reputation grew with every skirmish, every successful defense. She was not just a princess. She was a shield for her people, a sword for her kingdom. Her name became a war cry, a promise of victory. Upon the death of her brother Karama in 1576, the throne of Zazzau became hers. There was no hesitation, no dissent. Amina had already proven her worth 1,000 times over. She did not ascend to power. She claimed it as her own. And from the very first day of her reign, she made her intentions clear. Zazzau would not merely survive, it would dominate. 3 months after taking the throne, she launched the first of her great military campaigns, a relentless 34-year marathon of expansion that would redefine the map of the region. Her objective was not mere plunder, it was total subjugation. She sought not just tribute, but dominion. Her vision was of a greater Zazzau, an empire whose influence stretched from the core of Hausaland to the banks of the Niger and the Benue rivers. Amina's military genius was revolutionary. She commanded a vast army, reportedly 20,000 infantry and 1,000 cavalry, a force of unprecedented scale. But it was her strategy, not just her numbers, that brought victory. She was a master of siege warfare, a student of fortifications. Her campaigns were methodical, precise, and utterly ruthless. She would surround a rival city, cutting off its supplies, choking its lifelines. Her armies were disciplined, their loyalty to their queen absolute. To face Amina's forces was to face a storm, an unstoppable tide of steel and will. From Kano in the north to the Nupe lands in the south, kingdoms fell before her. She integrated new territories, forcing them to accept her as their overlord, expanding her trade network, and securing vital resources for her growing empire. Her conquests were not just about expansion, they were about security. With every city she took, she ordered the construction of massive earthen walls, fortifications that would stand for centuries as a testament to her reign. These walls, known today as Ganuwar Amina or Amina's walls, became her signature. They were a physical manifestation of her doctrine. Protect what you have built, fortify your power, and make your domain impregnable. These structures served a dual purpose. They were defensive barriers against future attacks, but they were also powerful symbols of her authority, permanent markers of her dominion, etched into the very landscape. She was building an empire designed to last, its foundation secured by earth and its borders guarded by fear. But Amina's legacy is not built on military might alone. She was a shrewd and visionary governor. She understood that an empire held together only by fear is brittle. True power requires the loyalty of the people. While her enemies feared her wrath, her subjects revered her strength. She fostered economic prosperity, using her control over the trade routes to enrich her kingdom. The influx of wealth from conquered territories and the tribute paid by vassal states transformed Zazzau into a center of power and culture. She encouraged the cultivation of kola nuts, a valuable commodity, turning her kingdom into a dominant producer. Her rule brought a measure of stability and security that allowed commerce and craftsmanship to flourish. She was a warrior, but she was also a nation builder. In an era defined by rigid patriarchal structures, Amina shattered every conceivable gender norm. She was a woman who ruled, who fought, who commanded armies of men in a world that expected her to be silent and subservient. She never married, never had children, refusing to be defined by the roles of wife or mother. According to legend, she took a temporary husband from the ranks of the vanquished in every city she conquered, only to have him executed the following morning to ensure no man could ever claim to have ruled her. Whether fact or folklore, the story speaks volumes about her public persona, a woman utterly self-possessed, who bent to no man's will. Her very existence was a challenge to the established order, a radical declaration that power was not the exclusive domain of men. Her leadership inspired a unique blend of awe, loyalty, and terror. Her soldiers, bound to her by a fierce devotion, saw her as more than a queen. She was a demigoddess, a woman as capable as a man. Her enemies saw a relentless force, an avenging spirit that could not be reasoned with or defeated. She cultivated this image, understanding that in the brutal Game of Thrones, a fearsome reputation was as valuable as a sharp sword. She ruled through a combination of strategic brilliance and psychological warfare, creating a mystique that amplified her power far beyond the physical reach of her armies. Her name alone was enough to quell rebellion and demand obedience. She did not ask for respect, she commanded it. She did not hope for loyalty. She forged it in the crucible of shared victory and absolute authority. For 34 years, Queen Amina reigned supreme. Her life was the battlefield, her crown was her helmet, her legacy was an empire. She pushed the boundaries of her kingdom and the boundaries of what was believed possible for a woman. She was a conqueror, a builder, a visionary, and a trailblazer. Her story is a powerful reminder that history is not a static script written by the powerful, but a dynamic saga shaped by the bold. It is a testament to the idea that courage knows no gender, and that leadership is a quality of the spirit, not the body. Amina's life was a masterstroke of will and ambition, a relentless pursuit of greatness against all odds. Her death, said to have occurred during a campaign in a place called Atagar, marked the end of an era, but not the end of her influence. The walls she built still stand in silent testimony to her power. The stories of her exploits are still told, passed down from generation to generation, inspiring countless women to break barriers and claim their own strength. She is more than a historical figure. She is a symbol of Nigerian pride, a beacon of female empowerment, an icon of African sovereignty. Queen Amina of Zazzau did not simply inherit a kingdom. She carved an empire out of the earth with her own hands, leaving an indelible mark on the soul of a continent. Her life proves a timeless truth. Power indeed belongs to those who dare to claim it.